A hug also for you and for the people of Venezuela, the legitimate president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Also a greeting for our brother heads of states and government, co-presidents of Nicaragua, Daniel and Rosaria, president of the plurinational state of Bolivia, Arce, the prime minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Raf Gonsalves, and for all the honorary representatives of the countries that make up our alliance. Also our greeting for Juan de Peña, the executive secretary of ALBA-TCP, that has worked intensively since he took this responsibility. In first place, we want to transmit greetings from Raúl Castro, has been informed of everything that has happened coming to this summit.
Is Díaz-Canel.
Yo quiero iniciar mis palabras
Well, we are watching live this moment, the 13th executive, the 13th extraordinary summit. We have back the audio. The news is coming around at the same time that the government of that country violates all norms of international coexistence and puts a price on the head of the legitimate president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. What I just read is a brief fragment that is filled of memory of Casa de las Américas that has strong ties with creators of North America. The denunciation that they have made from their headquarters in Havana is an urgent cry from our thinkers, from our think tanks, of the power of unity to which you were referring to defeat the imperialist plans. So these are moments of great challenges. Imperialism in its offensive evidences that has no intention to stop before the limits imposed by international law, the UN Charter, and decades of resolutions and regional declarations and universal declarations against coercion, threat, interference in the internal affairs of other states, and interventions. The announced measure that the United States pretends to give to its agencies to act against criminal groups within the borders of other states is an unacceptable threat of aggression against sovereignty of the countries of the state, an aggression also of the regime of peace and cooperation in Latin America and the Caribbean that we have strived so much to guarantee. The deployment of military units towards the south of the Caribbean under the command of the South Command is said to involve over 4,000 assets and is being used on the fake argument to fight drug cartels, and that's what is being promoted and said by the most drug trafficking country in the world, which is the United States. This is a strategic movement that could facilitate actions under U.S. law in Title 50 of the U.S. Code that grants the president of that country the capacity to execute military powers of clandestine actions, sanctions and seizure of assets without informing previously Congress. That is why Cuba is firmly rejecting this new demonstration of imperial force and makes a call, and we join your co-president Maduro, from ALBA-TCP and to all the people of the world, to condemn this aggression of the U.S. administration. We also denounce the financing of terrorist plans against Venezuela, as the fake accusation thrown against the President Nicolas Maduro that pretend to link him without any kind of proof to criminal organizations involved in drug trafficking is once more again the kind of maneuvers that imperialism does when it has aggressive intention against sovereign states, when it's not capable to influence the people and needs a pretext to from that north that hate us, as Jose Marti says, is part of a scheme that intends to reactivate the Monroe Doctrine, which is key in the interventionist actions of the U.S. in our hemisphere. So we have no alternative that to face the empire that aims to submit us to their interests, and we must do it firmly, together in action and conviction. So the defense for a common destiny we have called here in ALBA-TCP. Peace and coexistence among the states to which we aspire to cannot be naive, and we cannot forget the dangers. So it is our task to face them. As all of you know, last August 14 we celebrate not only in Cuba but also in other countries of Latin America and the Caribbean and the world the 99th birthday of whose great ideas and legacy continues to be the commander-in-chief and the leader of the revolution, Fidel Castro Ruz. In these days we have begun a commemorative year of international reach for his 100th birthday. The numerous support of Fidel to our history and all that he brought for our solidarity in the region and our union cannot be forgotten. Our action must honor all these actions of Fidel and all other heroes, and today they are our compass to our actions, following as well the ideals of Bolívar and Martí. Fidel also strived to reach the unity of our peoples based in an anti-imperialist ideology, and told us that the battle is not only in the economic sphere but it's also cultural and moral. With these experiences and ideas, we are called to face the threats that loom not only on a group of our country like Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua, which have lately become the favorite target of U.S. coercive measures, but also impact all the peoples that have decided to on their own destiny. The defense to self-determination and solidarity between brotherly nations is a mandate of history that has brought us here. The United States, what is their aim? Their aim is to rule us with their oppression policies. They aim to weaken us with hate speech and destabilization actions. But our history, and we cannot forget this, is marked by indigenous ancestors and also from the best and popular bequeathed by Africa, Asia, and even Europe through the resistance and victory of coerced people. So from that accumulated knowledge and feeling that our ancestors bequeathed us, we cannot stop demanding in every space, in every expression of condemnation of imperialism, that the genocide in Gaza comes to an end. The threats that today loom over Venezuela are based in the same philosophy that have turned a small enclave of land in a hell on this earth. Is enough of Zionist occupation and complicity. All crimes have perpetrators and accomplices to be able to sustain in time. Israeli Zionism and U.S. imperialism interchange their roles in their criminal actions, and Cuba knows this well because in its genocidal blockade, empire has always supported with the support of the genocide Israeli regime. Dear beloved brothers and sisters, we are proud that ALBA-TCP is always at the front in the denunciation of these crimes and is a voice to condemn the U.S. coercive actions. This struggle is against the dangers that loom over peace, that threaten peace in our region. Which countries express their concern for the U.S. intentions to carry out military actions in Latin America and the Caribbean. Together with the proclamation of the region as a zone of peace, we believe that it is necessary to mobilize to denounce from the community of Latin American states and the Caribbean against this colonizing attempt. That's why we support the realization of an extraordinary summit as well of CELAC. Commander Fidel Castro, speaking once in Caracas, he said the following: "These peoples have acquired a conscience of their destinies too high for them to go back to submission to which we lived for more than a century." And he added, "These peoples of America know that their inner strength is in union and that their continental strength is also in unity." Cubans share this conviction. The blood of our heroes was not shed in vain, and if it came time to defend with our own life the sacred soil of our homeland, we will fulfill that duty with the highest of honors. Dear friends, neither the aggression, the threats, political pressure, misinformation campaigns are enough to break the essence and surrender the Latin American and Caribbean dignity if we stay together. Our strength is the strength of history and of shared ideals that are deep-rooted in the conviction that freedom and sovereignty of each country is the sovereignty and independence of all. I once again go back to the call of Casa de las Americas, as the think tanks said. If something is clear, and imperialism doesn't let us forget, is that it embodies for over 200 years the main enemy of the ideals of Martí and Bolívar. To that enemy, to the giants of the 7 leagues, we have to fight them through all means, without losing ourselves in discussions on the thousands of assets that threaten us. It is once more the moment of recount and united march. Maduro, brothers, sisters, creators, our founding fathers, may they guide us in this struggle, and that solidarity and unity be our shield. Only together for hope and love for our land, can we build a future that current generations and coming generations deserve. Long live the sovereignty and freedom of our peoples, and as Che once said, till victory always. And long live Cuba, brave and dignified and rebellious, supporters of Fidel. Well, truly beautiful words, very strong words
del compañero presidente
from President
Miguel Mario Díaz-Canel
Miguel
Bermúdez.
Díaz-Canel.
Saludamos a todo el pueblo de Cuba.
We greet the entire people
Eso
of
fue
Cuba.
inolvidable, Díaz-Canel.
That was unforgettable,
Siempre quedó
Díaz-Canel.
en la historia. Yo lo recordé
That
estos
stayed
días
in
que
history. I
recibí a
recall
González,
this in
a
recent
hermano
days when we
Otero,
welcome
a todos
Elias
Guerrero,
Gonzalez,